All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where, of course, you subscribe for our daily videos, keeping you informed on everything going on with Bitcoin, the price, the market, perspective on how, what should we take away from all this, and just overall news and analysis on what's going on in the cryptocurrency space. Now, we have a lot of very interesting, great pieces of news coming out of a cryptocurrency conference that's been going on for the past few days. It's Consensus. It's taking place in New York, and we have a lot of news to share with you. And all these stories I pulled, I think you're going to find a lot of value in it. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with the price, then transition into some news. I want to drill down on the Starbucks news, courtesy of Forbes. But let's get into it. And if you find a value in this video, do me a small favor, hit the like button. It's a small thing you can do. It truly does help us grow as a channel when you hit the like button. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Let's get into it. So taking a look at the price of Bitcoin, last night Bitcoin rallied from about $69,000, and as of a few hours ago, we were at $79,000. So we rallied $1,000 in one night, and right now for the past few hours, we've been consolidating at around 7,900. So 8,000, over 8,000. That is definitely in play. But if we were to look at some possible resistance levels, we would see that we're kind of hitting one right now around 8,100. Before that, or the next one is at around 9,700, so just short of 10,000. And then if we were going to take a look at some support levels, we have the 100-week moving average, which right now is about 64. We have this consolidation that happened around 51. Also 45 provides some resistance or support, and then we have the 200-week moving average, which right now is at around 36. But like we've been seeing in the past few weeks, anything could happen. Now, I already have my core position in Bitcoin. I do have about it's a significant amount, but I don't have my full position that I would like to have. So me personally, this is what I'm doing. I'm waiting for some sort of pullback, whether that happens this week or next week, or hey, maybe it's never going to happen, but I'm going to wait for some sort of pullback and then deploy more fiat. But that's me. You do what you want to do. Eventually, a $7,000 Bitcoin will be seen as pennies. And if we take a look at how this compares to some previous bear markets, we'll just spend about 30 seconds on this. You can see these are bear markets turning into bull markets, and the last three big ones. So this is us in the red compared to the green, which is 2014, 2015, compared to the blue, which is 2011 to 2012. And you can see that we're going up rather quickly compared to all the consolidation and sideways action that was happening in 2014, 2015. But compared to the when Bitcoin was 3 years old, around 2011, you can see that it didn't take much for the price to shoot back up after that. So it's an interesting thing to take a look at. Now, besides that, I'm sure you noticed that Bitcoin has had large volume lately, and it's actually the largest volume of all time for the past 2 days in a row, which led Anthony Pompliano to tweet out, "The bulls are back." And you can see this volume, this massive volume, right here. It's comparable to what we were seeing leading up to the 2017 bull run. But of course, this is exchange volume. This is not necessarily on-chain volume, and exchange volume is not nothing, but I would like to see the next time Willy Woo, who studies on-chain volume, I'd like to see his thoughts on if this is legitimate accumulation. But it's not nothing. Now, besides that, Bitcoin dominance is at 60%. You can see that Bitcoin dominance has been increasing, generally increasing since last year, but specifically for the past month or so, we've been increasing. And the Bitcoin dominance right now at 60% is currently the highest it's been since December of 2017, when Bitcoin was at $20,000. One more thing before we move on to the Starbucks news, but this is interesting. This is Whale Alert. I follow these guys on Twitter, and because everything happens on a public ledger, when large transactions are moved. So the story is this. Bitcoin whales move 48,000 Bitcoin to two separate wallets. That's $343 million worth of Bitcoin was moved yesterday in a single transaction to two different addresses. Now, this isn't necessarily a pump or a dump. Most likely scenario is it's just somebody with a lot of Bitcoin, probably an exchange, moving their stash to a new wallet, maybe for security, who knows what reason. But the takeaway is, and the reason I wanted to share this with you is because the fee to move $343 million worth of Bitcoin was only 30 cents. And that's not something to be scoffed at. All right, let's move on to this. The story's courtesy of Forbes, and I actually do want to spend a little bit of time drilling into the details. So this is the headline. Starbucks, Nordstrom, and Whole Foods now accept Bitcoin. Just don't ask them. That's interesting. So the beginning of this Forbes article, which we'll just skip, is kind of an anecdotal story of one of the Winklevoss twins, wishing that he could buy a nice cold brewed coffee from Starbucks with Bitcoin. And just the other week, that day has finally come into fruition where he was able to do it with a new beta version of a new app called Spend, built on a startup company's platform. The company is Flexa. And this is all courtesy of Gemini, which is the Winklevoss's exchange. So the future is here, according to them. Let's drill into this. So this is in beta testing right now, but all evidence points to the fact that as of today, some of the largest and best known companies in the world are now accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bcash, Zcash, and the Gemini stablecoin dollar, which is built on top of the public Ethereum blockchain. So this was proven to Forbes, which led them to write this article. So receipts provided to Forbes from a few hundred of the beta app testers confirmed that crypto purchases were made at GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, Whole Foods. Emails from Barnes & Noble, Office Depot, and Nordstrom were also provided by Flexa to confirm the store's participation in the project. So, like I said, this is in beta testing, and so far, in total, 89% of all the beta users spent cryptocurrency at least one of the locations announced today, according to Flexa data, with 81% of those spending multiple times in more than one location. So, companies now officially accepting these cryptocurrencies, according to Flexa, are Barnes & Noble, Baskin-Robbins, maybe you've heard of some of these, Bed Bath & Beyond, Caribou Coffee, Crate & Barrel, Express, GameStop, Jamba Juice, Lowe's, Nordstrom, Office Depot, Office Max, Petco, Regional Cinemas, Ultra Beauty, and Amazon-owned Whole Foods Market. And of course, there's Starbucks. In spite of not being part of the official launch, so none of these, this is interesting, none of these companies are necessarily making it public that this is what they're doing yet, but according to receipts from this third-party startup/application, there is proof, and in total, nearly 100 stores are expected to start accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies via the Spend app by the end of this year. So how is Flexa already letting Cameron Winklevoss pay for Starbucks coffee with crypto? And how are the other 15 enterprises also doing so? So first, this is how you do it. First, users need to download the app from the Apple App Store and then send their asset of choice from any cryptocurrency wallet. While Gemini custodies the crypto funds, Spend takes care of the payment itself by generating a one-time QR code on the phone's screen, which is scanned by the participating store's existing scanner, debiting the amount charged from the customer's account, and while the customer gets a receipt showing the purchase as a gift card, Spend settles the payment with the merchant in the preferred currency at a later date. So it remains to be seen whether these companies are going to be actually holding this cryptocurrency. There's a chance that they're just going to redeem it for fiat, but I would like some clarification. The fact that Gemini is custodying this cryptocurrency, I mean, yes, it's a third party. It's not necessarily what Bitcoin was intended for, but that could mean that perhaps some of these companies would hold on to their own crypto. I mean, we need more information, but nevertheless, this is some really good news. This is just, speaks to where our future is going, and a little bit more detail on this new startup/app. So Flexa said that Spend was the result of 16 months of work behind the scenes, with the motivation of reducing processing fees and eliminating fraud for merchants. Instead of adding crypto payments as a feature to debit cards, the startup said it has taken a different approach by forging direct connections with retailers in order to go around the existing payment infrastructure. Although spend is initially only available to consensus attendees, Flexa said that more invites are going to be released through the app itself. Interesting. You know, what surprised me the most is that the other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin that they are accepting, once again, it is Ethereum. Okay, not really meant as a means of peer-to-peer transaction. Litecoin, which is Bcash, which is Zcash, which I guess is, but it's not as good as Bitcoin, right? And for a little bit of perspective on that, one of the reasons why I believe that Bitcoin has the strongest chance to survive compared to many, many other altcoins that are trying to be means of payment. Well, let's take Zcash, for example. Somebody tweeted at, I don't know if this is the CEO or the founder of Zcash, he's the higher up in some degree, and they tweeted at him, why are you dumping on your followers? I guess because Zcash, well, let's take a look at the price real quick, just because it's been going down generally. And this person, whoever he is, some executive over at Zcash, because all these altcoins have CEOs and offices, he says, no, if I were selling, it wouldn't move the price. I received 200,000 Zcash per month, blah, 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 blah. So he's trying to justify that he's not dumping on his followers, also admitting that he receives, a salary or a stipend, through the fact that he gets a founder's reward from Zcash. So he says he receives 2,000 Zcash per month. Right now, Zcash is at $64. So he just admitted to everybody who believes in Zcash that he receives $128,000 per month. So why wouldn't this get shut down? Why would somebody want to do this compared to, a truly decentralized, unconfiscatable cryptocurrency like Bitcoin? That's my opinion. You're welcome to have your own opinions. Now, to add to the strength that Bitcoin has compared to other altcoins, Bitcoin miners are currently earning 8 times more in fees than all other cryptocurrencies combined. So obviously people want to mine a cryptocurrency that will be around for years to come. And the more miners, the more decentralized, the more secure the network is. Let's just fly through this. We're almost done. Binance is set to reopen deposits and withdrawals tomorrow, Tuesday. So you know that their hot wallet got hacked recently for 7,000 Bitcoins, I believe. And we don't really know what's going on with Binance. I mean, yes, they are a very successful exchange in this wild, wild west of unregulated cryptocurrency market. But the fact that, they got hacked and I'd like to see what's going on behind the curtain. But for now, it's all good, I guess. We'll see what eventually comes out. So are you going to, if you have funds on Binance, are you going to be withdrawing them? Are you going to be moving some fiat into Binance to buy at these prices? Let me know. This is a good idea. Somebody put this up on our cryptocurrency, but this was the suggestion. All exchanges should implement a crypto reminder pop-up when you click anything with the word Bitcoin, and this will avoid confusion for newcomers. So wouldn't this be a good idea? Friendly reminder, there are numerous crypto assets that have the word Bitcoin. To avoid confusion and accidental selection, please view the information below to assist you in your selection. So BTC, the original Bitcoin, Bcash, it was a fork that surfaced in 2017, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash fork that surfaced in 2018, and then eventually you can click, I don't need a reminder anymore, I know the difference. This would be a great idea. It's simple, it's effective, I love it. Then our final piece of news, before we check the price again, is that, again, this is all coming out of the cryptocurrency conference, a very successful one, a very popular one called Consensus. And eBay seems to be suggesting that they will start accepting cryptocurrencies. So these signs were spotted at Consensus in New York, and the banners suggest that eBay is about to enter the cryptocurrency arena in what would be a major mainstream breakthrough. So you can see the signs. Virtual currency, it's happening on eBay. reach 179 million active buyers in the world's largest marketplace. Digital collectibles, it's happening on eBay. So these images have yet to be confirmed by eBay, but if they are legitimate, it could open up cryptocurrencies to 180 million active buyers. eBay, as you know, is one of the first websites to gain wild success back when they originally launched, 20 years ago. And so how will cryptocurrencies work on eBay? Like I said, nothing is official yet, but what this one article seems to suggest is while there's no official statement on its cryptocurrency plans, the marketplace has widely been linked to the Bitcoin payment gateway Utrust. Now, I actually, I don't know if you're familiar with Utrust. We can look them up right now. I think I have a little bit of Utrust. I bought some Utrust back when I thought all altcoins were going to succeed. I'm not saying Utrust won't. We used to talk about them on the channel all the time. But the fact is, Utrust is kind of like it's kind of like what PayPal does, only they do it for the cryptocurrency space. Hey, I hope they do succeed, but I don't believe in third-party altcoins like this as much as I used to. But you can, they're up 23%. I guess some people think that they will do quite well. All right, finally, checking the price again. We're still sitting at about the same. Let's move into the hour chart, and we can see that, yeah, we are seeing this consolidation happening around 7,800. Is what we've been seeing some sort of short squeeze? You know, it's very possible. I mean, we could go up to 9,000, we could go up to 10,000. Eventually, there is going to be some sort of pullback. I mean, the market goes in waves, the market goes in cycles. Like I said, I already have my core position in Bitcoin, but I really didn't get as much as I wanted to, so I'm waiting for the pullback so I can inject more fiat now. Maybe, you know, I was waiting at 5,000, so maybe I should have just put it in there, you know. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Either way, we're early adopters in this thing. You can see where the future is going. All right, great video. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a great year.